basis a number of questions that have been asked to me by different people, that now that Saturn is transiting into Pisces, what will be the result of Saturn's Pisces transit for me? My Saturn is placed here, my Mercury is placed here, my Jupiter is placed here. So I'm coming up with this wholesome video where each of those planets which are being influenced by Saturn by virtue of its placement, aspect and transit, those that are going to be influenced by Saturn's transit, whether it's Mercury, Venus or Jupiter or the Lagna Lord, what kind of results will be coming for you and what you should be able to watch out for and what you should be able to utilize during this Saturn's transit. Hello, namaskar and adab to all my friends, from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan, once more with you from your very own channel, Astro Assurance. I've done this video of Saturn transit into Pisces from three different perspectives. One from the rising sign perspective, the moon sign perspective, and also basis where Jupiter's place, Jupiter's dignity in your horoscope, because Saturn is going into Pisces. However, a number of questions have been asked to me that my Saturn is placed here, my Mercury is placed here, my moon is placed here, my sun is placed here. How will this transit affect me? So rather than responding to each question which is posted in the comment section or those messages which are coming in or number of people who are writing emails to me, I thought let me do a video where I will be able to talk, or I will tell you basis where each of your planets are placed in what dignity, whether this transit of Saturn will bring good results or challenging results for you basis that planet's placement. So let's jump in and see for each of the rising sign people, which transit or which planet will bring you better results, which will bring you challenging results by basis of its placement in your horoscope when Saturn moves into the Pisces sign. So first, when Saturn, for Aries rising sign people, this is the result I am bringing to you basis which is your Lagna Lord for that particular rising sign, and whether Saturn will give you tough or good results. So first I'll do the tough results and then the good results, and all those planets which will be influenced by Saturn either through its transit, aspect or rulership. So let's start with Mars first, which is also the Lagna Lord for Aries rising sign people. So for Mars rising sign people, or Mars being the Lagna Lord, if Mars is placed in the sign of Taurus, then it can give you or bring to you slightly challenging results, specifically because Mars is going to be in the second house from the Lagna, and the second house is also seen to be a Manglik position, and Saturn is placed in the 12th house of giving up, donating, being charitable. So it's slightly tougher results may come by for Aries rising sign people. Mars is in the second house, and same thing may happen when Mars is in the Virgo sign in the 6th house. Here Mars can be usually a good placement if in your horoscope Mars is placed in the Virgo sign. However, this is good to overcome enemies, competitive exams, competitive situations, competition itself. However, when Saturn goes into Pisces and then aspects Mars directly, the natal placement of Mars in Virgo, it can slow down the results of Mars energy or Mars ability to fight in adverse circumstances as well. So Mars may not be able to give you the best results when Mars is going into Virgo. Then let's come to Jupiter, the sign lord of where Saturn is going to transit into. So Jupiter, obviously for obvious reasons, may not give you the best results if Jupiter is placed in your Capricorn sign. Though for Aries people, it is not that bad a placement when Jupiter goes into the 10th house in Capricorn, especially in today's times, where you need to have a little tact and diplomacy as well. However, Jupiter again may not give you the best results for those people whose Jupiter is placed in the Virgo sign as well. And to small extent, even if Jupiter goes into the Sagittarius sign, it may not give you the best of results. And this is also for all those planets which are retrograde or debilitated or combusted. That planet may give you tougher results if Saturn is either aspecting its sign, aspecting the natal position of the planet, or getting into the sign ruled by the planet. Here we are talking about getting into the sign ruled by Jupiter. Then Mercury. So if Mercury is getting into the Virgo sign, though Mercury is getting into the sign of its exaltation, and Mercury usually does well in the 6th house. However, Keep in mind that Saturn is aspecting Mercury from its debilitation sign of Pisces, from the 12th house of being charitable, giving up, donating. So this is going to be a tougher placement where Mercury may not be able to give you the best results, but slightly tougher results, challenging results. This is a placement where you'll have to work harder to get the best of Mercury results. And same thing when Mercury gets into the Sagittarius sign in the 9th house, also the sign of long distance travel, the house of long distance travel, especially if it's retrograde or if it's combusted, then it will give you tougher results. So Mercury may not give you the best results in Virgo and Sagittarius, and specifically if it's also retrograde and combusted. Then Venus, for obvious reasons, may not give you the very good results in Scorpio sign. Now, normally Venus doesn't do very badly in the 8th house. After Saturn, Venus does better in the 8th house. However, being in Scorpio sign means there will be constant transformation in your income, which Saturn is also aspecting. So Saturn is slowing down the results of income, livelihood, getting results where you are able to increase your bank balance, and Venus is in Scorpio. So there will be constant transformation in your income from time to time. So that can be a challenge, and that can also lead to your inability to be able to get the best results from teamwork, because Venus also rules the 7th house of partnership and teamwork. Then Saturn itself. Saturn, for obvious reasons, because it gets debilitated in the Lagna, in Aries sign, so it won't give you the best results in Aries, and it will not give you the best results in Scorpio sign. The reason being is Saturn has gone into the other Dusthana, and in your natal chart plays in one Dusthana. So people may say it's a mini Viprit Raj Yoga also. However, the 12th house is the house of giving up and being charitable. And Saturn being placed in the natal horoscope in Scorpio means sudden transformation, which will make you give up being charitable, donating, or losing. So you need to be careful if Saturn is placed in the Scorpio sign in your natal chart. And lastly, the tougher results will also come when Saturn is placed in the Cancer sign. Normally, Saturn doesn't do very well in Cancer and Leo sign because Cancer sign is opposite its Capricorn sign. And Leo is also the inimical sign ruled by Sun. It's arch nemesis, and it is also the sign opposite its Mool Trikona sign of Aquarius. So it may give you challenging results, and any of these planets, Mars, Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, or Saturn, being afflicted by either Rahu or Ketu will also bring you slightly adverse results, slightly challenging results. Now let's talk about the good results from these very planets. So if Mars, the Lagna Lord, is getting into the Capricorn sign, the sign of its exaltation, it will give you fantastic results. As well as if Mars is in the Pisces sign in the 12th house. Mars is very comfortable in the 12th house, especially in Pisces, because it gives you high motivation. Mars is also your focus, your attention, and Pisces is the sign of high optimism. So if Saturn goes there, so it gives you high optimism. Saturn will also make you more careful of not rushing into dangers in foreign lands, in foreign service, working with foreign consultants, and in professions connected to the 12th house, like in armed forces or in individual roles or in health services, etc. Then Mars will do very, very well in the Sagittarius sign. Mars, the Lagna Lord, does very well in the angular houses, especially in the Leo and Sagittarius signs. So even though Saturn's aspect will be on Mars in the natal horoscope, if you have Mars here, but it is the 10th aspect and it is a good career making aspect. So Mars will also give you very good results in your career, specifically because Saturn also rules your 10th house. Then Jupiter. Jupiter will give you fantastic results, obviously, in the 4th house in Cancer sign. But the care should be that Jupiter shouldn't be retrograde here. Otherwise, there's slightly more challenge here. Though overall, still it will give you fantastic results. Same thing with Jupiter going into Libra may also give you fantastic results, great results, because Saturn is activating the Pisces sign, which is very positive sign for Jupiter, and Jupiter is very well placed in its own sign in Pisces. When it goes into Libra, it gives you good results because Jupiter in Libra, in the sign of relations, does very well. It may not give you the best of results in the 7th house, but still it will give you good enough results, especially if you are in foreign lands and in a relationship with them, or relations with foreign consultants may also be very good for you. Then Mercury will give you very good results if Mercury is placed in the any of the angular houses. For example, if Mercury is placed either in the Leo sign, or Mercury is placed even to some extent in the 10th house in Capricorn, it will still give you good results. It may not give you very bad results if it's even in the Virgo sign. As I said, it may give you slightly balanced results, but Mercury has to be in very strong dignity, maybe in a good yoga. Then Mercury, if it's placed in its exaltation sign, can also give you good results. And Mercury in its own sign, Gemini in the third house, can also give you fantastic results connected to service. In spite of Saturn getting into the sign of its debilitation into Pisces, where Mercury gets debilitated, but Saturn direct effect is not in any of the, at least on the Gemini sign. So people who are Gemini, who have Mercury, Aries rising sign people, Mercury in the Gemini sign in the third house can also get good results. And same thing with Venus. Venus will give fantastic results if it's exalted in your Pisces sign. Saturn will give you stability in income. Saturn will give you stability in your quality of life. So very good results, stable results over the next 2.5 years. Same thing with Venus being in the Libra sign as well as in the Cancer sign in the fourth house. And Saturn itself will give you very good results if it's in Pisces, if it's in Aquarius or in Capricorn, as well as in Libra, where it gets exalted. Now for Taurus rising sign people, let's start with the Lagna Lord. As I said earlier, I'm giving you results basis the Lagna Lord, basis your rising sign, and then followed by where Saturn will give you good results, tough results first, and then good results first, and all those planets which are being influenced by Saturn directly or indirectly. So for Taurus rising sign people, Venus being the Lagna Lord, Venus may not give you the best of results in the Virgo sign. For obvious reasons, it gets debilitated there, and it is under the aspect of Saturn from the 11th house of wishes and desires. So fulfillment of wishes and desires for Taurus people, if Venus is in the Virgo sign, specifically connected to the 5th house, in your relations and romance and speculative investments, even change of career may bring some challenging results. Same thing if Venus is placed in the Scorpio sign, because it is the opposite sign of its Lagna. So especially if it's retrograde or combusted, then Venus may give you not so very good results. Then Jupiter, for obvious reasons, may not give you the best of results in Capricorn, where it gets debilitated, and in Virgo, because it's going to be under the influence of Saturn from the 11th house of wishes and desires. Now Jupiter is the Karaka of the 5th house. Normally it shouldn't give you very tough results when it is placed in the 5th house, but in Virgo sign, which is the sign of the 6th house of the Kal Purush Kundli, there competition overcomes Jupiter, and you're not able to make the best of results in you, specifically connected to career change. So if anybody is trying to change in career or role change, then it may give you slightly challenging results. So don't worry, I'm coming in short while for better results also for Jupiter. Then Mercury, if it's placed in Sagittarius sign in the 8th house, may bring you tougher results. Same thing in the Scorpio sign also. Normally Mercury doesn't do very well in the 7th house because it makes you a little more analytical, sometimes even complaining with your relations, with your spouse, with your better half also. And then if it's getting into Scorpio sign, it makes you so analytical. Sometimes you may bring about a transformation either in yourself or in the relationship or in the change in the relationship. So be careful if Mercury is in the Scorpio sign, because Saturn is getting into the sign of his debilitation Pisces and aspecting the Multikona sign and the exaltation sign of Mercury. Okay, so Mercury obviously may not give you the best of results in Scorpio sign, especially if it's retrograde or if it's combusted. Then Saturn itself may not give you the best of results in Aries sign when it gets debilitated, and also in the Scorpio sign. Normally Saturn has high directional strength in the 7th house. However, what happens is Saturn being in the Pisces sign, the sign of negation, giving up, donating, charity, waste, expenses, now getting into the 7th house in your natal chart, in your birth chart, but in Scorpio. So what it does is it brings a sign of wanting to give up in relationship if you're not happy with the relationship so far. So a transformation in the relationship through giving up will be also brought upon by Saturn if it's in the Scorpio sign, in the Taurus sign. Because it gets higher directional strength, it may act more funny also. Same thing with Leo sign, because it is in the opposite sign of its Multikona sign. And Saturn anyways doesn't do very well in the 4th house unless it's in a very friendly sign and in its own sign. So in Leo sign, if it's placed in the 4th house, then it may give you tough results. for Taurus rising sign people. Now the better results. Venus getting into, that is the Lagna Lord getting into the Pisces sign, obviously fantastic results. The 4th house in Leo, fantastic results because it is the Karak of the 4th house. In the 9th house in the Capricorn sign, here it may give you fantastic results because the Lagna Lord getting into angular house, not the 5th house where it gets debilitated, but another angular house in the 9th house of gains can also bring you very good results. Specifically, if you're willing to learn from your experiences, then it will give you good results. Then Jupiter will give you obviously very good results in the 3rd house if it's placed in the Cancer sign for Taurus people. Here, through your education, your learning, through your competency, it may give you good results. The 4th house, Jupiter is the Karaka of the 4th house through its being exaltation in the Cancer sign and the Kalpurush Kundli. So Jupiter, if it's in the 4th house in Leo for Taurus people, can give you good results. And surprise, surprise, Jupiter may even give you good results in the Aquarius sign in the 10th house. Yeah, because the 11th, 10th connection is being established because Saturn and Jupiter will then be exchanging signs. So again, Jupiter will give you good results, and as it is, Jupiter will also give you slightly better results if it's in Sagittarius sign, because Saturn is aspecting it from the Pisces sign. So Jupiter in the Sagittarius sign in the 8th house may give you results, better results if your career is connected to the 8th house specifically, or people who are in medicine, pharma, emergencies, it will give you good results. Mercury will give you very good results if Mercury is placed in the exaltation sign. It's in own sign in Virgo sign, or in the 2nd house in where it rules to the Gemini sign, it may give you very good results. Even in the 10th house, generally Mercury does very well, specifically if it rules the 5th house and the 2nd house of income, getting into the 10th house connected to career, it will give you very good results. Then Saturn. Coming to Saturn, Saturn will give you very good results if it's placed in the Pisces sign in your natal chart. This is the Saturn return placement in the 11th house, which Saturn rules in the Kalpurush Kundli, so you will get fantastic results. But here, if you have learned the lesson Saturn wanted to teach you while it was in the 10th house, the last 2.5 years, now getting into the Pisces sign in the 11th house, then you will get very good results. Same thing if Saturn is placed in the Aquarius sign in your natal chart, as well as Capricorn sign is sign of rulership, as well as its exaltation sign in the 6th house, in the Dusthana, because Saturn does very well in the Dusthana. So it will give you good results, as well as in Taurus. To an extent, it will give you better results than when it is not aspecting the Taurus sign. Now, because Saturn is aspecting the Taurus sign to its own natal position, then it will give you better results, because Saturn is the Yoga Karaka for Taurus rising sign people by virtue of it ruling one Kendra house and one Trine house. Then for Gemini rising sign people, first I'm going to talk about how the Lagna Lord is going to behave, whether it is going to give you tough or good results based on where it is placed. Then I'm going to talk about the effect of all the planets which are being influenced by Saturn in different dignities. So one by one, let's take them. By virtue of Saturn's transit, aspect or rulership. So firstly, Mercury. If Mercury is placed in the sign of Virgo, in your natal chart, the sign of its exaltation, this is a good results overall. The only challenging part is Mercury is being aspected by Saturn from Mercury's debilitation sign in the 10th house. So while domestic results may be good, to some extent, you may be able to spend money on home, buy assets, but career-wise, you need to be careful. Yet overall, you'll still get very good results when Mercury is in Virgo. Same thing when Mercury is in Sagittarius also. Now, normally Mercury doesn't do very well in the 7th house, in the sign of relations and partnerships, where you can be more calculative, you may try to be more practical. Whereas in relations, sometimes you need to do a balance between being practical and emotions, utilization of emotions. So Mercury, if it's getting into the 7th house in Sagittarius, it may bring good results if you're willing to learn from your experiences so far. Sagittarius sign is the 9th house lord in the Kalpurush Kundli. So if you're willing to learn from your experiences, then if Mercury is placed in the Sagittarius sign under the 10th aspect of Saturn in your natal chart, while being the Lagna Lord, it may give you good results. Then also, if it's placed in the Taurus sign in the 12th house, it may give you good results. Now, normally Mercury doesn't do very well in the 12th house because the 12th house has Pisces energies and Mercury gets debilitated in Pisces. However, because it's the Lagna Lord and gone 12th from itself, then in foreign lands, you may be able to get good results, but not so very good results because Saturn will be aspecting Mercury from the third house, with the third aspect. So overall, it may give you slightly challenging to balance results. In some places, it will give you good results if it's in Virgo, or not so good results. In 7th house, it will make you more over practical, but if you're learning from your experiences, not bad results. It may not give you very good results if it's in the 12th house because it has Pisces energies, and under the aspect of Saturn. So if you are being more diligent and you're being more creative, then you may get slightly balanced results. So overall, this is a neutral to balanced position. In some places, good results. In some places, not so good results. I'll come back to very good results in some time talking about Mercury. Then Jupiter. Jupiter, for obvious reasons, may not give you the best of results when it's in the Capricorn sign because it is debilitated there. That too in the 8th house. And then Jupiter in another Dusthana in Scorpio sign in the 6th house may not give you very good results because Saturn is placed in the 10th house ruled by Jupiter, the house of career. And then Jupiter going into the 6th house, another service house. However, it's getting into Scorpio sign, the sign of transformation and challenges. So unless you're really looking for a change, transformation and willing to take some risk, this may be a slightly risky placement of Jupiter is placed in the Scorpio sign in the 6th house. Jupiter may give you mixed results if it's in the Pisces sign in your natal chart because Saturn going over Jupiter, it'll slow down the results that you get, specifically if you are in the role where you are a guide, consultant, advisor, you are an expert in your field and people depend on you, then it will give you slightly slowed down results and higher slowed down results if Jupiter or any planet is retrograde or combusted also. Then coming to Venus. Venus may not give you the best of results if it's in the Scorpio sign in the 6th house because Venus anyways gets debilitated in the Virgo sign in the Kalpurish Kundli which has 6th house energy. So Venus in the Scorpio sign for Gemini rising sign people may not give you the best of results, specifically because Saturn is aspecting the other sign ruled by Venus, which is the Taurus sign. And Venus will not give you good results even in the Virgo sign, where it gets debilitated in the 4th house, though it is the Karak of the 4th house. So assets, money, conveniences wise, this can be a challenging placement. And then Venus may not be able to give you the best of results in the 3rd house in Leo, because here you have to put in the extra effort not to get into a situation where you are spending more, losing a lot of money on sudden expenses. So you have to put extra effort to earn more money, specifically if your career is getting connected to foreign lands, foreign clients, foreign companies or MNCs. Then coming to Saturn itself, Saturn placed in the sign of Aries obviously will give you challenging results. Saturn placed in the sign of Scorpio in the 6th house can be also challenging results, though Saturn doesn't do too bad in the Dusthanas. But in the Scorpio sign, in the sign of service, while Saturn is placed in the Pisces sign in the 10th house. So in service, there may be a transformation, ups and downs from time to time. So you have to be careful if Saturn is placed in the Scorpio sign in your 6th house in your natal chart for Gemini rising sign people. Same thing if Saturn is placed in the Virgo sign, because Saturn doesn't do very well in the 4th house anyways. And now it's aspecting the natal Saturn from the 10th house. So career will be slowed down, and so the results of the domestic house you may not be able to get such very good results. And if any of these planets are afflicted by Rahu or Ketu, same way. Now let's look at the better results or the good results. So if Mercury is placed in the sign of Gemini itself, in the Lagna, you will get very good results. When Saturn moves into Pisces, same thing when Mercury is in the 5th house in the sign of Libra. Here, Mercury may utilize relations to be able to get better results in your career, change of career in accounts, gains. Same thing if Mercury is getting into the 11th, in the 9th house, in the 11th sign, which is Aquarius, Mercury may get you good results. Jupiter will give you very good results in the Cancer sign in the 2nd house. Jupiter is also the Karak of the 2nd house. So directly Jupiter is getting connected with money through career. So again, very good results. Jupiter in the 5th house, again in Libra, may give you good results as long as it's not retrograde there. Many times Jupiter gets into Libra sign and it seems that it gets sometimes retrograde also. So you need to be careful. Jupiter is retrograde while it rules the career. So a change in career may come in after many attempts rather than easily. And Jupiter in the 11th house in the Aries sign can also give you good results, because then the 11th and the 10th house are getting connected. Wishes and desires are getting connected to the career. So some wishes and desires may be fulfilled. If you are an expert, if you're a competent personality, and if you have higher qualifications connected to your job. Venus can do very well in Pisces. Venus will also do very well in Libra sign for obvious reasons. And in the 5th house, money coming in to change in career, new role. As well as Venus can do very well in the 4th house. But the challenge here is Venus will get debilitated. So it's a mixed placement. Still, you may be able to do better than if Venus was placed in Virgo sign in some other house. Then Saturn itself will do very well in the Pisces sign itself. Saturn is the Karak of the 10th house of career and going into the 10th house, though in Pisces. So career connected to foreign lands can give you money, can give you stability, specifically if you are learning to work in a team relationship. In teamwork can give you good results. And then Saturn will give you good results if it's placed in Capricorn sign also in your natal chart, now getting into the 10th house. So career connected to the 8th house, people will prosper. And those people who have Saturn in the Aquarius sign in the 9th house, if you're highly qualified or you're getting connected to anywhere where you're teaching, training other people, or if you are connected to educational institutes also, then you will also get very good results. Now for Cancer rising sign people, firstly I'm going to talk about the Lagna Lord Moon, and then I'm going to talk about the tougher results for different people having different planets in different houses, and then the good results. Specifically based on where Saturn's how Saturn is influencing those planets by virtue of its transit, aspect or rulership. Let's start with the Lagna Lord Moon. Moon, if it's placed in your Sagittarius sign, Lagna Lord going into the Sagittarius sign in the 6th house, normally shouldn't give you good results. However, because Saturn is aspecting it from the 9th house of Pisces, where Moon does very well, and aspecting it with the 10th aspect. So people who are doing very well or who are connected to anything connected to finances, loans, debts, those people will do better in their career, and connected to education, long distance travel can also do very well. However, there's still a challenge here because Moon is still in the 6th house. So if Moon, for instance, gets into the Moola Nakshatra, then it can give you more challenging results. So overall, it can give you good results if your Moon is well placed in good dignity, in good yogas, in the Cancer sign in your natal chart. However, still there will be some challenging results also coming in because there will be slowed down in your career. Slowdown effect is there, but stable results are there. So it's a mixed placement for Moon. However, Moon may give you tougher results if it gets into the Virgo sign, which has the 6th house energies again. And under the direct 7th aspect, not the 10th, but the 7th aspect of Saturn from the 9th house. So if you have learned from your experiences, then Saturn may give you more relief. However, if Moon is placed in Virgo, and so this may be slightly emotional ups and downs for you every now and then. Though you'll have to work harder because the Moon is in the 3rd house of effort, influencing others. So you'll have to work harder to get good results. Same thing if Moon is in the Aquarius sign in the 8th house, this can also bring you challenging results. And then let's go to Jupiter. Jupiter in the Capricorn sign, the 7th house for Cancer sign people. Tough relations, especially for women in your marital relationship. If Jupiter is placed in your 7th house in debilitation, and now Saturn going into the 9th house in Pisces sign can bring you some challenging results. Same thing if Jupiter is also in Virgo sign and the direct aspect of Jupiter from the 9th house, but in the sign of Pisces. So if you have learned your lesson, the lesson that Saturn wants to teach you, specifically because Jupiter is also the ruler of the 6th house of enemies, of competition. So if you learn, then you may get better results. But Jupiter doesn't do very well in the 3rd house because Jupiter has to learn a lot of lessons, overcome a lot of competition before it gets good results. So challenging results in Virgo. Same thing if Jupiter is in the 8th house in the Aquarius sign too, there may be challenging results, specifically Jupiter's retrograde or combustor. Then Mercury in the Pisces sign may bring you challenging results because it gets debilitated there. Same thing in Sagittarius sign, though Mercury shouldn't do very bad in the 6th house because that is the natural house in the Kalpurush Kundli, but because it's in a inimical sign in Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter. So it may give you tough results, specifically if Mercury is either retrograde or combusted. Then Venus in Sagittarius sign may also give you tough results. And then Virgo in Sagittarius because it is the 6th house which has the Virgo energies. And then going into Virgo itself in the natal chart in the 3rd house, high effort you have to make to earn money, to influence people. So obviously tougher result there. Then for Saturn itself, if it's in the Aries sign, the sign of its debilitation in the 10th house, now going into the 9th house, 12th from itself, then challenging results will come. Same thing if Saturn is in the 12th house in Gemini or in the Scorpio sign in the 5th house. Specifically, if Saturn is retrograde or combusted, it may give you tougher results. And if any of these are afflicted by Rahu or Ketu, then too it will give you tougher results. However, now let's talk about the good results. For Cancer rising sign people, if Moon is placed in Capricorn sign in the 7th house, it will give you very good results. And because one Kendra house lord getting into the other Kendra so it can give you good results. Same thing in Taurus, where it gets exalted. Same thing in Libra, because it has the 4th house, moon going into the 4th house, natural house in the Kalpurush Kundali, very good results. And obviously, if it's in Cancer, also very good results. For Jupiter placed in Cancer, in the exaltation sign, fantastic results. In the 4th house, which has Cancer energies, also the 4th house of Kalpurush Kundali in the Libra sign, fantastic results. In the 9th house, which is naturally ruling, and in Pisces sign, fantastic results. Same thing, if it gets into the Aries sign in the 10th house, friendly sign, also very good results for those people of Jupiter here. Mercury getting in the exaltation sign in Virgo, very good results. Specifically because the 3rd house is also the natural house ruled by Mercury in the Kalpurush Kundali, so good results. Mercury in the 11th house in Taurus can also give you good results. Mercury does better in the 3rd house, the 11th house, and also in the 5th house, Mercury does better. So good results of Mercury is in Taurus sign. Venus, if it's in Pisces sign in exaltation, in Libra, its own sign, and in the 4th house, which is the Karaka of. And obviously, if Venus is in the 11th house in Taurus, Saturn will bring you stability, because Saturn is aspecting it from the sign of its exaltation. So again, good results for Cancer rising sign people as well. Then for Leo rising sign people, I'm going to start with the Lagna Lord, basis the dignity of the Lagna Lord. Then talk of good, challenging results for Leo rising sign people based on where your planets are, and then the good results, depending on Saturn's influence on the planet through its transit, aspect, or rulership. So firstly, for Leo rising sign people, based on the Lagna Lord Sun's placement, Sun in the Pisces in the 8th house can bring you slightly tougher results, going 8th from itself. And in the Pisces sign, which has the 12th house energies, Sun doesn't do very well in the 12th house, and conjunct with Saturn, or Saturn going over Sun. Then Sun may not do very well in Capricorn sign, again the 6th house energy. Sun does better in the Kendra houses, but even better in the angle houses, the trine houses. So obviously it may not give you the best of results in Capricorn. Same thing in Aquarius, the sign of its arch nemesis Saturn. Jupiter may not do very well in Capricorn, the sign of its debilitation. In the Scorpio sign, in the 4th house here, Jupiter is normally very comfortable in the 4th house. But in Scorpio sign means ups and downs in your conveniences, ups and downs in your domestic life also. So here, Jupiter may not do very well because of Saturn going into the 8th house, influencing or activating Jupiter in Scorpio in your natal chart. Same thing, Jupiter is also in the Pisces sign over which Saturn is going now, may not give you the best results, specifically if Jupiter is retrograde or combusted. Then Mercury may give you tougher results if it's in the Cancer sign in the 12th house, which has the Pisces energies in the Kalpurush Kundali. Then Mercury getting into the Pisces sign, the sign of its debilitation. Especially if Mercury is retrograde or combusted, it will give you tough results. Then Venus getting into the Scorpio sign in the 4th house. Venus is the Karaka of the 4th house, but in Scorpio sign, the 10th ruler getting into the 4th house and Scorpio, which means because of career ups and downs coming at home and you not being able to function very well. So Venus also rules the 3rd house of effort. So effort will have to be put in to overcome sudden challenges and transformations at home connected to work. So home and work may be at opposite ends during this transit. So you need to be careful. Same thing if Venus is in the Virgo sign also, in the sign of its debilitation, there may be challenging results. Then Saturn will obviously not give you good results if it's in Aries sign in your natal chart, because Saturn is going into another Dusthana. So already debilitated in your natal chart, going into a Dusthana in the sign of Pisces, the natural ruler of the 12th house. So waste and expenses are activated. Same thing if Saturn is in the Leo sign, in the Lagna, then also it may not give you very good results because Saturn is inimical to the Leo sign. And same thing if Saturn is placed in the Cancer sign also in the 12th house, it may not give you the best of results because 12 houses are getting activated. First of all, Cancer is the 12th house and Saturn in the sign of Pisces, the 12th house in the Kalpurush Kundali. So 12 houses are getting activated. So this may bring in more expenses and waste and excesses. Now the good results for Leo sign people. Sun getting into the Leo sign in the Lagna, Sun getting into the 10th house, highest directional strength in the Taurus sign, the one Kendra house lord getting into the other Kendra house. Again, very good results in foreign lands, foreign clients, foreign consultants, MNCs, very good results. Same thing if Sun is in the another trine house or angular house in Sagittarius sign. Though you will get slightly slower results, but you will get leadership opportunities during this period. Jupiter in the Cancer sign, very good results. Jupiter in Libra sign, very good results. Jupiter in the Sagittarius sign, again, very, very good results, fantastic results. Mercury in Virgo sign, very good results, the sign of his exaltation. Your money can be very good. Though Saturn is placed in the sign of a debilitation and aspecting it with the direct aspect, however, Mercury may do very well in the second house in Virgo as long as you are more careful and more judicious about money. Spending money, where you're putting in money, because Mercury also rules your 11th house of wishes and desires. So some of your wishes and desires connected to money may also come in good for you. Same thing if Mercury is placed in Gemini sign in your natal chart for your rising sign people, as well as in the Sagittarius sign. Then Venus will give you very good results if it's placed in the Pisces sign in the 8th house. Venus normally does very well in the 8th house, except if it's in Virgo. After Saturn, Venus does better in the 8th house. And then Venus, if it's in the Taurus sign in the 10th house, it can also give you very good results. It's placed in the own house. So the 3rd house of results, effort, in its own sign in the 10th house, under the aspect of Saturn from its exaltation sign of Pisces, can give you very good results. Same thing if Venus is in the Lagna also, while ruling the 10th house, going into the Lagna, can give you very good results. Money coming in through your career connected to your efforts. So very good results. Saturn, if it's placed in the Pisces sign, again, very good results if in your natal chart or in Aquarius or in Taurus sign also. So here, the service is getting connected to Taurus sign, money. 7th house partnerships is getting connected to the 10th house through its 3rd aspect. And Saturn, if it's placed in the Taurus sign in your natal chart, under the 3rd aspect of Saturn, the more effort you put in, the more service-oriented you are, the better results you get. As well as if Saturn is in the Libra sign, the sign of its exaltation in your natal chart, very good results. Now for Virgo's rising sign people. So as for all the other rising sign, same thing here. I'm going to start with the Lagna Lord's dignity, where Lagna Lord is placed. Based on that, whether you will get good or bad results based on Saturn's transit in the Pisces sign. And then I'm going to talk about the tougher placements for each of the planets based on where they are placed, and then the good results for each of the planets based on how Saturn is influencing them through its transit or aspect or rulership. So let's start with the Lagna Lord first. Now, firstly, this is going to be a very, very karmic placement. Number of people who have Virgo rising people who have got in touch with me, I've told all of you, very, very karmic placement, because Mercury is the Lagna Lord. However, Saturn is directly aspecting the Lagna from Mercury's sign of debilitation, Pisces sign. And Saturn is at its highest directional strength in the 7th house. So this is a very, very powerful Saturn when it's getting into the Pisces sign, the sign of debilitation of the Lagna Lord, and aspecting the Lagna. So what does this mean? If you have learned the lesson which Saturn has tried to teach you over the last 2.5 years. So this is, if the last 2.5 years have been fantastic for you, very good results in career, in partnership, in your domestic life, in your married life, in your conjugal life, in your investments, if you've got very, very good results, then this can be a fantastic Saturn, because you've learned the lesson and Saturn is aspecting the Lagna. So very good results, stable results in relationships, stable relations in results in your domestic life, stable results in money. But there may be change in a home. There may be change in home, which is also coming back for you. So now, basis where Mercury is placed in your natal chart, results will also come by accordingly. However, keep in mind, this is a very, very karmic placement. This is a results-oriented placement. This is a lessons-oriented placement. So if you have not worked very hard, then the next 2.5 years can be trying for you, specifically based where your Lagna Lord is placed. So now let's talk about where your Lagna Lord is placed in your natal chart. If Mercury is placed in the Sagittarius sign, then you will get real tough results, because Mercury doesn't do very well in the 4th house, because the 4th house is the house of domestic results, domestic life. Here you will need to balance between emotions and practicality. You can't be too practical at home. So if it's in the Sagittarius sign, the sign of, it's a very fiery sign, and Saturn is aspecting Mercury from its debilitation sign, then you can get real tough results. Same thing if Mercury is placed in the Scorpio sign in the 3rd house. So if your 3rd house is very strong in your natal chart, and if Mercury is placed in Scorpio sign, then big transformations in your life can come in your domestic life, in your money earning potential as well. And the other sign where Mercury may not do very well is if Mercury is placed in the Aries sign in your 8th house, in your natal chart. Again, you may get tough results. The reason being is your career planet and your Lagna Lord is getting into the Aries sign in the 8th house. Unless your career is connected to Aries and the 8th house, you may still get tougher results. But if your Mercury is in Aries and if it's very well placed, your career is getting connected to the 8th house, insurance, taxation, emergencies, all health services, then you may do better. And if Mercury is retrograde or combusted in your natal chart, then you will get even tougher results. Now let's talk about Jupiter. Jupiter plays in Capricorn, obviously, because if it's a debilitation sign, it will not give you very good results. Jupiter plays in the Virgo sign. In the Lagna, also may not give you very good results. Jupiter normally doesn't do very well in the Lagna in the Dusthana signs, specifically either Virgo or Scorpio, which are the natural 6th and the 8th house of the Kalpurush Kundi. Jupiter will not do very well. Same thing if Jupiter is in the Gemini sign in the 10th house, the career sign, it may not do very well because Jupiter rules the 4th house and the 7th house. And if Jupiter is going into the 10th house, then a lot of domestic issues can be an interference in your career. Jupiter anyway doesn't do best in the 10th house. This is also the 10th house where Capricorn sign energies are there because of the Kalpurush having Capricorn sign. So obviously Jupiter may not do very well in Gemini, specifically if Jupiter is retrograde or debilitated or combusted in your chart. Then it will not give you good results. When Saturn gets into the Pisces sign, if Jupiter is retrograde and getting into either Capricorn, Virgo, or Gemini. Then Venus if Venus is placed in the Scorpio sign, again tough results will come for you. Specifically because Saturn also is aspecting the Taurus sign ruled by Venus, and Venus is going into the Scorpio sign, opposite house to the Taurus sign, in the sign of transformation. So money, through effort, the money that needs to come in, especially through, if you have learned your lesson over the last 2.5 years, how to manage money, then too there may be transformation, there may be ups and downs connected to money, connected to your effort. Then for obvious reasons, Venus will not do very well if it's debilitated in your Lagna chart, in your in the Virgo sign, in the Lagna, if it's in the Virgo sign, if it's debilitated, then and under the 7th aspect of Saturn, then money-wise, relationship-wise, spending-wise, this can be a tough placement. But there may be a change of a house for you, and through which money can also come in. A new role may also come in for you. And same thing if Venus is placed in the Aquarius sign in the 6th house, which has the Virgo sign energies in the Kalpurush, it may not give you very good results. And if any of these are afflicted by either Rahu or Ketu, all these planets that I've talked about, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, if they are afflicted in any form or any Vish Yoga or any dosha, then you will get tough results. Now let's talk about the better results for Virgo rising sign people. If Mercury is in the Gemini sign, then you will get good results. Mercury is in the Cancer sign, you will get good results. Mercury is in the Taurus sign in your natal chart, you will get very good results. Jupiter is in the Cancer sign, you will get fantastic results. Jupiter is in the Sagittarius sign in the 10th house, very good results. Jupiter in the Taurus sign, the 9th house, which Jupiter rules through its rulership of Sagittarius, very good results. Venus in the Pisces sign, Venus in the Libra sign, Venus in the Cancer sign, or Venus in the Taurus sign also, fantastic results will come for Virgo rising sign people. Now Saturn, if it's in Pisces sign in your natal chart, coming back to return placement, and in the last 2.5 years you have learned your lesson, then Saturn will give you fantastic results. Same thing if Saturn is in Capricorn sign, Saturn is in the Libra sign in exaltation in the 2nd house, again very good results for Virgo sign people. And if Saturn is in the Gemini sign, the 10th house, again very good result, because the 5th and the 10th house connection will come in, and the 6th and the 10th house sign will also connection will come in if Saturn is placed in the Gemini sign in your natal chart, and that is for Virgo rising sign people. Now for Libra rising sign people, let's talk about the Lagna Lord's dignity first, and then the tougher placements and not so good placements of different planets, and then the good results of different planets based on how they are being influenced by Saturn through their transit, either through aspect or through rulership. So Venus, if it's placed in the sign of Scorpio in the 2nd house, tougher relations or tougher results connected to money, specifically because Saturn is aspecting the other sign ruled by Venus, which is the Taurus sign, which is the money sign. And then getting into the Aries sign in the 7th house, again tough results will come by for Libra rising sign people, as well as Venus is in the Virgo sign where it gets debilitated. Jupiter in Capricorn sign where it gets debilitated, tough results for you. Specifically now it's getting activated because Saturn is getting into the Pisces sign. Same thing if Jupiter is in the Taurus sign in the 8th house, and under the aspect of 3rd aspect of Saturn from the 6th house, then two tougher results will come for you. And same thing if Jupiter is in the second house in Scorpio. Now, Jupiter doesn't do too bad in the second house in any horoscope, but here it's getting into Scorpio sign. And Saturn is activating the Pisces sign in the sixth house. So sixth house results are getting connected to competition, certain issues and transformations, and money is coming in. So it's not the best of placement. The Jupiter is placed in the Scorpio sign in your natal chart. Specifically, if it's retrograde or combusted for any planet, you will not get very good results. Mercury, if it's in the Virgo sign, still challenging results because Saturn is aspecting Mercury in the 12th house. 12th house also has the Pisces sign energies. And Saturn is aspecting your natal Mercury from its sign of debilitation from the Pisces sign. So tougher results will also come if Mercury is in Virgo. And if Mercury is in Pisces, obviously it's debilitated there. And if Mercury is retrograde or combusted also. Saturn in the Aries sign, Saturn in the Taurus sign, or Saturn in the Virgo sign will also give you tough results. Specifically, Saturn is retrograde or is combusted, then to tougher results. And if any of these are afflicted by Rahu or Ketu, then too. Now the better results for Libra rising sign people. If Venus is in the Libra sign in the natal chart, then you will get very good results. A very strong yoga is getting activated for you. Because Saturn is aspecting the other sign ruled by Venus, which is the Taurus sign. So money can come in. Venus in Cancer sign in the 10th house will give you very good results. Venus in the Leo sign in the 11th house can also give you very good results because the Lagna Lord is getting into the 11th house, the sign which is the angular house. So it will give you very good results in the Kalpurush Kundi, and Saturn is aspecting the Taurus sign. So stable results coming in, your wishes and desires getting true. But Jupiter getting into the Cancer sign, again very good results. Jupiter getting into the 9th house in Gemini, getting very good results. Jupiter in the Sagittarius sign in the 3rd house, getting good results, because the 3rd house is the house of learning, influencing others. So if you have learned your lesson and in service, if you are somebody who is the leader, then you will get very good results. If Mercury is an Aquarius sign in your natal chart, 5th house, Mercury does very well. In the Cancer sign in the 10th house, it will do very well. And then Mercury going in its own sign in the 9th house, very good results. For Saturn itself, Saturn in Aquarius, Saturn in Capricorn, Saturn in Libra, as well as Saturn to some extent, not greater, but to some extent in Leo. Because here Leo sign is has that 11th house rulership. 11th house is the natural house of Saturn through its Mool Trikona sign, rulership of Aquarius in the Kalpurush Kundi. So Saturn will do very well if it plays in the 11th house in Leo as well. Now those people who have a Scorpio rising sign. So let's start with the Lagna Lord, its dignity first, and what kind of good or bad results it will give you based on where it is placed, and then we will follow it up with the challenging results of different planets, and then the good results of each of the planets based on where they are placed. So the Lagna Lord Mars, if Mars is in the Taurus sign, it will give you tough results. 7th house, Manglik position. Mars in the Sagittarius sign, 2nd house, again a Manglik position, and both under the aspect of Saturn, which is slowing down the results, so tough results for you, as well as Mars is in the Aquarius sign, the 4th house, again tough results, Manglik position. If Mercury is in the Libra sign in the 12th house, Mars in the 12th house in the Libra sign, it will not give you very good results. So Mars in the Taurus sign, Sagittarius sign, Aquarius sign as well as Libra sign may not give you the best of results, but slightly tougher results. Jupiter plays in Capricorn sign of its debilitation, or in Scorpio sign in the Lagna may not give you very good results, because Jupiter also rules the 2nd house where Saturn is aspecting, and Saturn is placed in the Pisces sign. So slow down results. So transformation coming in through effort in money may be slowed down drastically. So it will give you slightly tougher results if Jupiter is placed in Capricorn or Jupiter is placed in the Scorpio sign. Then Mercury placed in Virgo sign may give you not so very good results, though it's the 11th house, but it is an Upachaya house. It grows with time. And Saturn is aspecting the exalted Mercury in Virgo from its sign of debilitation, the Pisces sign. And 5th house is connected to money, gains. So yes, slowed down results coming in from your ability, you're working in corporate houses, and your ability to be able to get your wishes and desires fulfilled. Same thing is Mercury is placed in the 2nd house in the Sagittarius sign, and more so if it's retrograde or if it's combusted. Venus, if it's in the Scorpio sign or if it's in the Aries sign in the 6th house, which also has the Virgo sign energies in the Kalpurush Kundi, then placed in the Virgo sign itself in debilitation for Scorpio rising sign people, again a challenging placement. for Scorpio rising sign people. Then Saturn if it's placed in Aries sign, Saturn's debilitation sign, or in the Scorpio sign, in the Lagna, Saturn doesn't do very well in the Lagna because it loses its directional strength anyways. So it will not give you best results if Saturn is placed in the Scorpio sign in your Lagna chart if you're a Scorpio rising sign person, as well as the Saturn is placed in the Leo sign. Yeah, 10th house is the natural house of Saturn, but yeah, it's getting with the inimical sign ruled by Sun. And now Saturn is placed in the 5th house of change in career. So if your leadership or your ability or your rapport with leadership is not good, then this next 2.5 years can be challenging for you. Let's talk about the better results for Scorpio rising sign people. Mars placed in the Capricorn sign. Through effort, fantastic results will come by for you. Mars in the Pisces sign, in the 5th house, angular house. Mars does very well in the angular house, is very good. As well as the Leo sign in the 10th house, where it gets highest directional strength, very good results. Jupiter in the Cancer sign, Jupiter in the Libra sign, Jupiter in the Pisces sign, very, very good results, because Jupiter will be in the trine houses in own sign in the Pisces sign or own exaltation sign in the 9th house, which is Sagittarius energy, is very good, as well as in Libra in the 12th house, which has Pisces energy, is very good results. So overall, Jupiter in Cancer, Libra, Pisces can do very well. Mercury, if it's exalted, to some extent can give you mixed results if it's placed in some good yoga. If it's not, then there will be slightly challenging results. So Mercury is in the Leo sign, and say if it's placed with Moon or Venus there, or under the aspect of Moon or Venus, then, or even Jupiter, it will give you very good results. Venus in Pisces, the sign of its exaltation, Venus in Libra, in sign of its own rulership, as well as in Taurus, can as well give you very good results. Saturn, if placed in Taurus, because Saturn will be in the 3rd aspect, but Saturn has highest directional strength in the 7th house. Rulership of the 3rd house of effort. Through effort, your ability to make money and make assets through Aquarius can also give you very good results. So Saturn is placed in Taurus or in Aquarius sign in the 4th house, or in the Capricorn sign in the 3rd house, or even in Libra sign, Saturn will give you fantastic results. Now for Sagittarius rising sign people, let's start with the Lagna Lord Jupiter first, and then talk about the tougher results placed based on the dignity of different planets, and then the good results of each of these planets based on how they are being impacted or influenced by Saturn through its transit, aspect or rulership. So firstly, the Lagna Lord Jupiter placed in Capricorn may not give you that very good results because it gets debilitated. Then in the sign of Taurus in the 6th house, under the 3rd aspect of Saturn, may give you tougher relations, tougher results connected to your domestic life and connected to money. Overcoming competition will give you tough results. Same thing if Jupiter is placed in the Virgo sign in the 10th house. Jupiter anyways doesn't do the best of results in the 10th house. You're in the Virgo sign. Virgo sign is the 6th house energies, where Jupiter doesn't do very well in the Dusthana, especially in the 6th and the 8th house. So if the 10th house has the 6th house energy, then Jupiter will not do very well, specifically if under the 7th aspect of Saturn, which is slow down. And so Jupiter in Capricorn, Taurus and Virgo may not give you the best of results, specifically if Jupiter is also retrograde or debilitated. Then Mercury will not give you very good results. So Mercury is in the Pisces sign, in sign of its debilitation in your chart. Neither will it give you the best of results in the Lagna in Sagittarius. Now Mercury may not give you very good results in Sagittarius in the Lagna because it is under the 10th aspect of Saturn from its sign of debilitation. And so, as well as Jupiter, Mercury may not give you the best results in the Scorpio sign in the 12th house, because the 12th house also has the Pisces sign energies. The sign of transformation, Scorpio and Mercury placed there may activate not so very good results for you. So it's slightly tougher results for you if Mercury is in your natal chart in the Scorpio sign. Same thing if Venus is also in the Scorpio sign, or Venus is in the Sagittarius sign in the Lagna under the 10th aspect of Saturn, and Venus is in the Virgo sign in the 10th house in the sign of debilitation. Tough results may also come by for Sagittarius rising sign people. If Saturn is in the Aries sign, the sign of his debilitation, or Saturn is in the 12th house in Scorpio sign, then to tough results, because Saturn rules the 2nd house of income and getting into transformation in the 12th house of waste and expenses, losses. So you need to be very careful, specifically connected to expenses at home as well as in career, because those results can also come by for you. Ups and down, yin and yang in earning potential may come by for you. Saturn is placed also in the Leo sign, the sign of its arch nemesis, and in the 9th house. While Saturn rules the 2nd house of income and the 3rd house of effort, so may also bring in the challenges. But if you're very highly qualified and if you're getting some educational qualification, there may be some obstacles, but overall, you'll have to work harder now over the next 2.5 years if Saturn is placed in your Leo sign. And if any of these are retrograde or combusted also, you will get tough results. And if any of these planets are afflicted by Rahu and Ketu, then too you will get tougher results. Now let's talk about the better results for Sagittarius rising sign people. Jupiter, the Lagna Lord in Cancer sign, fantastic results. In Libra sign, in the 11th house, very good results. In the Lagna itself, though it is under the 10th aspect of Saturn, but you will still get good results because the 4th house of Jupiter rulership is getting activated, the Lagna is getting activated under the 10th aspect of Saturn. So money coming in through your effort and then the assets being created is also getting activated if Jupiter is placed in Sagittarius, as well as if it's in place in Pisces sign itself, where Saturn is going to transit over, fantastic results. Mercury can give you very good results if it's in the exaltation sign, in the Virgo sign, as well as if it's in the 7th house in Gemini. Now, Mercury normally doesn't do very well in the 7th house because it becomes very practical and analytical about relations. However, in the Gemini sign, it will still do better because Saturn is activating the Virgo sign, the sign of its exaltation. And if Mercury is placed in the 10th house, so then it will give you better results also because it's a ruler of 2 Kendra houses. And if Mercury is also placed in Aries in the 5th house, which is connected accounts, money, it will give you very good results. Venus in its exaltation sign in Pisces will give you fantastic results. In Libra will give you very good results. In fact, even in Capricorn in the 2nd house, it will give you very good results because the 2nd house has the natural rulership of Taurus sign. In the Kalpurush Kundi, Venus will give you very good results. Saturn, if it's placed in the Pisces sign in your natal chart, coming back to its return placement, specifically, if you have learned the lesson Saturn has been trying to teach you over the last 2.5 years, again, very good results will come for you. That too. Also, if Saturn is in Aquarius or Capricorn sign in your natal chart, fantastic results and money through your effort and through relationships, through your network, through your social network. If Saturn is placed in the Libra sign, again, fantastic results. And to some extent, Saturn even placed in Virgo sign in the 10th house, which has the Capricorn sign energies in the Kalpurush Kundli, very good results for Sagittarius rising sign people. Okay, for Capricorn rising sign people, let's start with the Lagna Lord first and then talk about the tougher placements or tougher results based on where your planets are placed and what dignity they are placed, and then the good results. So firstly, the Lagna Lord Saturn, because the Lagna Lord is getting into the 3rd house in the Pisces sign. So Saturn placed in the Aries sign in your natal chart in the 4th house will give you tough results, as well as the Scorpio sign in the 11th house will give you tough results because the 11th house is the rulership of Saturn and now getting activated by virtue of Saturn getting into the Pisces sign. So your Saturn in the Scorpio sign will also be getting activated. So that may not give you the best of results. Specifically, if Saturn is retrograde or combusted in your natal chart, tougher results, as well as if Saturn is placed in the Sagittarius sign, which Saturn is aspecting with a 10th aspect. So it may activate good results for you in foreign lands connected to foreign consultancies. However, greater effort you will have to put in because Saturn is in the Pisces sign, which also has the 12th house energies of the Kalpurush. So through effort, you may be able to do well. However, because it is the Sagittarius sign, long distance travel will give you slightly better results. Otherwise, there will be still challenging results coming for Capricorn rising sign people if Saturn is placed in the Sagittarius sign or Aries or Scorpio. Then Jupiter in the Capricorn sign will, in the Lagna, obviously tough results, in fact disastrous results may come if Jupiter is not well placed in good dignity while being in Capricorn, say it's retrograde or it's combusted, tough results. Same thing if Jupiter is in the Libra sign. Because Jupiter rules the 12th house and Jupiter rules the 3rd house of effort. So in career, you'll have to put in extra effort to build relationships to be able to get good results. And Saturn is slowing down those results through getting into the Pisces sign and activating Jupiter in your Libra sign in the 7th house if Jupiter is in Libra. So tough results there also. And in Gemini sign also in the 6th house where Jupiter doesn't do very well, the sign of the competition. And Jupiter is too wise to not wanting to get into competition. So Jupiter will give you slightly tougher results here. So you'll have to put in more effort, which the 3rd house denotes, to be able to overcome competition and to save waste and expenses, specifically in the rising sign where Jupiter gets debilitated. Then Mercury in the Pisces sign, obviously the sign of its debilitation will not give you good results. Mercury in the 8th house in the Leo sign, if it's placed in a natal chart, again tough results. Hard work you'll have to put in, specifically 6th Lord getting into the 8th house. It will give you a tough result. However, if you are highly qualified, you have done PhD, if your career is connected to the 8th house, then it will be slightly easier for you. But still, Mercury in the Leo sign will give you tougher results. Mercury in Sagittarius in the 12th house will also give you tough results. Firstly, Mercury in the 12th house, which has that Pisces energy, the sign of its debilitation. So Mercury normally doesn't do best, doesn't give you best of results. Specifically, under the 10th aspect of Saturn from its debilitation sign. So Mercury in Sagittarius will also not give you good results, specifically if it's retrograde or combusted. Then Venus in Scorpio, Venus in Gemini in the 6th house of the Virgo sign energies, and Venus in Virgo, the sign of its debilitation, will also create challenges. Specifically, if any of these planets is retrograde or combusted, and if any of these are afflicted by Rahu or Ketu, still you will have tougher results. Now let's talk about the better results. So for the Lagna Lord Saturn, if it's in the Taurus sign, very good results. In Aquarius sign, 2nd house getting connected to the 3rd house of effort, and the money sign in the 5th house, good results coming in, stable results coming in your money, ability to be able to earn, ability to make your good bank balance through effort, however. And Saturn placed in the Aquarius sign and Capricorn sign, the Lagna Lord placement in the Sasha Yoga, very good results. And in the sign of its exaltation, again another Sasha Yoga activated. If you have Saturn in the Libra sign in the 10th house, fantastic results will come by for you. Jupiter in the Cancer sign, Jupiter in the Libra sign, in the 10th house, while Jupiter also rules the 3rd house of effort, Saturn is activating. So money is getting activated by Saturn's rulership of the 10th house if Jupiter is in the Libra sign, as well as if Jupiter is in the Pisces sign, very good results. Mercury, if it's in its exaltation sign in the Virgo sign, very good results. Though Saturn aspect on it can reduce the amount of ability to be able to make gains. However, Mercury does better in the 9th house, specifically if you're highly qualified, you're very competent, you're an expert in your work, very good results for you. Same thing if Mercury is in the Gemini sign in the 6th house, with Gemini, where Mercury does very well by virtue of his rulership of the Virgo sign, which is the 6th ruler in the Kalpurush Kundli. And same thing if Mercury is also placed in the Libra sign in the 10th house, Mercury also does well in the 10th house. Only thing is you need to be able to be not overly practical or overly analytical in relationship, have harmonious relationship in career, then Mercury in Libra gives you good results. Then Venus, if it's an exaltation sign of Pisces or in the Libra sign, the 10th house ruler, while under the 3rd aspect of Saturn, because Venus also rules the Taurus sign. So money is getting activated through career if Venus is placed in your Libra sign in the 7th house. As well as if Venus is placed in the Aquarius sign in the 2nd house, the 2nd house also the Taurus sign energies in the Kalpurush Kundli. Again, very good results will come by for you, as well as if Venus is in the Taurus sign, fantastic results coming for you. Now for Aquarius rising sign people, let's talk about the Lagna Lord Saturn first. And based on where your Lagna Lord Saturn is placed, whether you will get tough results or not so good results. So first we'll talk about the tougher results, then we'll talk about the better results. So if Saturn, the Lagna Lord is placed in the Aries sign in the 3rd house, or in the Scorpio sign in the 10th house connected to career, while Saturn rules the Lagna and the 12th house, then obviously ups and downs, transformations in career will be coming, as well as if it's placed in the inimical sign in the Leo sign. So though Saturn gets its higher directional strength in the 7th house, but because it's an inimical sign, it may activate inimical results, especially in partnership or ability to work with people, and some losses connected to the 12th house may come in. However, it may still activate higher income for you if you are able to be more careful in how you're managing partnerships and relationship. But it will give you surely tougher results if it is retrograde or if it's combusted. Jupiter will obviously not do very well in Capricorn sign. It's sign of debilitation. Neither in Scorpio sign, because it will give you transformation in your money, which is getting activated because Saturn is placed in the 2nd house of money, income, livelihood, ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is in the Taurus sign. So ups and downs in your income over the next 2.5 years, and you will have to be more diligent. You have to be more careful of how you manage your relationships. You have to manage it more wiser than before to be able to overcome those challenges. So Jupiter in Capricorn or Scorpio sign will give you tougher results, as well as to some extent even in Aquarius in the Lagna, because Jupiter doesn't do very well in the Lagna, specifically if it's not its friendly sign. Specifically if Jupiter is either the retrograde or combusted. Then Mercury may not give you the best of results in Capricorn or in Pisces, the sign of his debilitation, especially if it's retrograde or combusted. And Venus will not give you the best of results in Scorpio or in Virgo, the sign of his debilitation, or Cancer sign in the 6th house, which is the Virgo sign energy signification, because Virgo sign is where Venus gets debilitated. Or if any of these planets is retrograde or combusted, or any of these planets is afflicted by Rahu or Ketu, still you will get tougher results. Let's talk about the better results for Aquarius rising sign people, starting with the Lagna Lord. Saturn in the Cancer sign in the 6th house, you will get good results. Saturn in Aquarius in the Lagna, Sasha Yoga getting activated, very good results. Saturn in the Capricorn sign in your natal chart. So now the 2nd house getting connected to the 12th house, income getting connected to foreign lands, foreign clients. Saturn will also enhance the ability to stop losses in spending. So you'll have a tighter grip on your purse. So very good results. Same thing if Saturn is placed in the Sagittarius sign in the 11th house. 11th house also the Aquarius sign energies in the Kalpurush Kundli. And this is the Aquarius rising sign. So again, fantastic results if Saturn is placed in the Sagittarius sign and then activating the Sagittarius sign, little Saturn with its 10th aspect from the 2nd house of income. So wishes and desires getting fulfilled in income is getting activated, as well as if Saturn is in the Libra sign, the sign of his exaltation. Good results. Jupiter, if it's in the Cancer sign, not the best of results in the 6th house, still better results. Jupiter in the 2nd house, which is the Karaka in the Pisces sign, again very good results. Jupiter placed in the Sagittarius sign, its own rulership, while it also rules the 2nd house. So 2nd house is getting connected to your wishes and desires getting fulfilled. So again, fantastic results. And Jupiter also in the Gemini sign in the 5th house, again, which is it is the Karaka of very good results. So your ability to go through a transformation or a career change, because Gemini sign is the 8th from the 10th house, through money, income and wishes and desires getting fulfilled is getting activated. So Jupiter will give you very good results in Cancer, Pisces, Sagittarius or Gemini. Mercury will give you very good results in its exaltation sign in the 8th house, specifically if your career is getting connected to the 8th house, because Mercury also rules the 5th house of accounts, finance, money. So if any time your career is getting connected to wealth management, other people's money, insurance, taxation, fantastic results will come by for you. As well as if Mercury is going even in the Scorpio sign in the 10th house, because here the 5th house, the 8th house from the 10th house is getting activated, and Venus, Mercury in the Scorpio sign. So here it will bring about a very good transformation, but you have to keep an eye out or look out for the opportunity coming in. Mercury can give you very good results in Scorpio, as well as an own sign, angular sign in Gemini sign. Pisces will give you, now Venus in Pisces will give you fantastic results. It's sign of exaltation. Same thing in Libra, in the angular house in the 5th house. Same thing Venus is placed in Taurus sign, his own house in the 4th house, specifically because Venus is the Karaka of the 4th house. So money bringing in assets, ability to enhance assets is also getting activated here. And if Venus is also placed in the Sagittarius sign in the 11th house, it can also bring in very good results, because Venus is under the aspect of 10th aspect of Saturn from its sign of exaltation. If Venus gets exalted, still give you very good results. Lastly, but not leastly, the Pisces sign, rising sign of Pisces. So let's start with the Lagna Lord Jupiter first, and where the Lagna Lord place can give you tougher results, and then we will get to the better results for Pisces rising sign people. So if Jupiter is placed in the Lagna Lord is placed in Capricorn sign or in the Leo sign in the 6th house, or Jupiter is placed in the Libra sign in the 8th house. So Jupiter anyways doesn't do very well in the 6th and the 8th house. So there you may not get very good results, and Jupiter is debilitated in Capricorn may not give you the best of results. Specifically because both the houses of Jupiter, Pisces and Sagittarius, are under influence of Saturn, and Saturn gone into the Lagna. Saturn doesn't do very well in the Lagna, so it'll slow down results connected to career and enhancement of your stature in society if Jupiter is in the Leo or Libra sign. So you'll have to overcome or work harder to overcome competition or overcome certain obstacles with Jupiter in any of these signs. Okay, either in Capricorn, Leo or Libra. Mercury will not do very well if it's in the Pisces sign in your natal chart, because obviously it's the sign of its debilitation. It will not do very well in the Aquarius sign, which has the Pisces sign energies in the Kalpurush Kundi. So it may not give you the best of results, specifically Mercury being the ruler of two Kendra houses going into the 12th house. Unless your career is connected to foreign lines, foreign consultants or IT, then you may get slightly better results. Or even for income and import and export, people who are in trading, in import export of goods, they may get slightly better results if Mercury is placed in either Pisces or Aquarius. So then to some extent even in Sagittarius, but not to that extent. So it's a balanced placement if Mercury is in Sagittarius. However, for any of these planets, if they're retrograde or combusted, then tougher results will come by. Venus placed in Aries in the second house, balanced position, but still because Venus rules the 8th house of suddenness, obstacles, and getting into the second house in Aries, so it may be a tougher placement in terms of income. Venus in Virgo in the 7th house, sign of relations, where it gets debilitated, tough placement. Venus in Leo in the 6th house. The 6th house is Virgo sign energies in the Kalpurush Kundi. So again, tough placement connected to money. So the more effort that you put in, you'll have to overcome high competition to be able to gain. Venus is in Aries, Virgo, Leo. Saturn getting into Aries, the sign of debilitation, or Saturn getting into the Lagna itself in a return placement. Saturn doesn't do very well in the Lagna, specifically in the sign where it is not in a friendly sign or own sign. So obviously this will bring in more challenges. It will slow down the results of stature, enhancement, career. So not the best of placement if Saturn is placed in Pisces in your natal chart. Same thing if Saturn is placed in the Scorpio sign in your natal chart, the 9th house of gains, while Saturn is now getting into the Lagna, but the 12th house energies. So transformations activating loss of gains or sudden challenges which are coming in, which may also activating losses. So slightly tougher results. Saturn is in Pisces, Aries or Scorpio, specifically if it's retrograde or combusted, and specifically if any of these planets is afflicted by Rahu and Ketu, tougher results. Let's come back to the come to the good results for Pisces rising sign people. So Jupiter, the Lagna Lord, placed in Cancer sign, the sign of its exaltation, fantastic results. If it's placed in the Libra sign, slightly not so very good results. Overall, still very good results in the 8th house, connected to career, connected to the 8th house. Very good results if Jupiter is placed in the Sagittarius sign in the 10th house. So Lagna Lord and the 10th Lord placed in the 10th house, very good results under the 10th aspect of Saturn. So stability in career. Then Jupiter placed in the Pisces sign in the Lagna itself. Very strong Hamsa Yoga, fantastic results. Mercury in the exaltation sign in the 7th house, good results. Mercury in the Taurus sign in the 3rd house. 3rd house also has the Gemini sign energies, and Saturn with 3rd aspect of effort. So the more effort that you put in, ability to make more money, specifically if you're doing your own business, you may get fantastic results. Same thing if Mercury is placed in Sagittarius sign in the 10th house, also you may get very good results. Venus in Pisces sign, the sign of exaltation, or in the Libra sign, slightly tougher placement, though Venus does very well in the 8th house after Saturn. So I don't mean tougher placement for bad results. It means it would have been better if Libra sign was either in the 5th or the 9th house. But here too, if Venus is placed in the Libra sign and the 8th house, very good results. Specifically, if your career is getting connected to other people's money, wealth management, or career connected to the 8th house, then very good results, fantastic results. Same thing if Venus is also getting into the Gemini sign in the 4th house. Venus is the Karaka of the 4th house. So for Pisces rising sign people, if Venus is in the Gemini sign, very good results. As well as in the Cancer sign in the 5th house, money coming in through change in career may also be done. Then Saturn itself, if it's in the Virgo sign where it gets highest directional strength and aspecting it, very good results. Same thing if it's the Aquarius sign ruler and getting into the Aquarius sign, 12th house, very good results. Same thing in Capricorn as well as Libra, it's sign of its exaltation, as well as in Sagittarius. Now in Sagittarius, Saturn is aspecting it with the 10th aspect, and Saturn has a rulership of Capricorn in the Kalpurush Kundi. So overall, still very good results if Saturn is placed in Virgo, Aquarius, Capricorn, Libra or Sagittarius for Pisces rising sign people. So friends, now that we have seen how different planets place in different dignities, different aspects, while Saturn is getting into Pisces will bring different results for you. Overall, see, look at the overall pattern, not just look at one planetary placement, look at overall pattern and then fathom for yourself whether overall the planet is giving you good results or not so good results. Focus on those planets which are giving you better results when Saturn is getting into Pisces, and then draw the maximum results from this particular transit of Saturn getting into Pisces. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me. The links given below. Until some other time with some other video, this is your friend Astrologer and Guide. Signing off. Ciao.